Hey guys, it's me, Pinky C. Again, I know these videos are coming out later and later. I'm doing the best I can, guys. I hope that it's okay. Hopefully this lighting situation I've got set up today is a little bit better. If I can recreate this look tomorrow, then great. This video, I kind of wanted to touch on another serious subject, which is coming out. Meaning, for those of you who may not possibly know, which I don't know many people who wouldn't know, but just in case you don't know, coming out or coming out of the closet means when you admit to your friends and family and the rest of the world that you are an alternative sexual orientation other than just straight. Meaning that, you know, if you're straight, you only like those of the opposite gender. But I wanted to talk about my coming out experience and the experience of my dear friend Lee, the one I call my queen, my Pookie, my best friend. You'll hear me mention him a lot in videos. For me, I always kind of knew that I was different, and I didn't really know why, but for a long time I didn't even know it was different. I remember the first time I realized the feelings I was having weren't accepted was when I was with my grandparents. Again, I don't mention names, and I want you to understand my family did the absolute best they could with their own upbringings and their own preconceptions and things they were taught as kids. So please don't hate on my family for making the wrong decisions. They literally are doing the best they can. But we live, as you know, in the deep south in Georgia, very much in the Bible Belt. There is quite literally a church on every corner here. So having a child come out and show alternative lifestyle choices at a very young age is terrifying for anybody around here, because it could mean not only that the child is shunned, but the family could be shunned as well. So it's a big deal. Coming out around here is a big deal. But anyway, I was very young age, maybe 6 or 7 years old, and I remember seeing a young lady walking down the road in a red dress, and I whistled at her. And for me, it was just normal behavior. I thought she was gorgeous. I thought she looked very attractive, and so I'd seen boys whistle at girls on movies, and that's what I wanted to do. So I whistled, and it was an immediate negative reaction from my family. My grandmother and my great-grandmother were sitting in the front seat of the car. They whipped around and immediately started screaming at me, no, we don't do that. You don't whistle at another girl. You like boys and we don't whistle. Well, we're girls, we don't whistle. And when I was a child, I was very afraid, and I was also intensely obedient. I was probably the best kid you could ever have around because I did nothing wrong. I made sure I did nothing wrong, and if I did do anything wrong, the guilt ate me alive. It was part of my thing. So I was mortified that I had done something wrong, but I still wasn't sure what I'd done wrong. The outcome of that situation was that I totally buried it and was like, okay, that can't happen again. And it was many years later before I started accepting I was having feelings again, when a girl moved down the road, and it was the first time I was allowed to actually go to a friend's house because she was only a couple houses down. And she had beautiful, long, like golden red hair and just piercing green eyes, and was the kindest person you'd ever meet. In fact, the way I met her was these bullies on the bus stole my hat and were throwing it around the bus and just being your everyday dicks. And she jumps up right in front of me and starts going, throw it here, throw it here, throw it here. And I'm thinking, okay, bitch, you're right in front of me. I'm going to knock your ass out. So I literally rear back to hit her. She grabs the hat out of the air, turns around, stuffs it in my hands, and goes, take it, take it, take it, take it. And I realized she had faked out the bullies to get me back my belongings. And that's how she and I became friends. Her name was Angie. And I don't have to go into names, last names, for you to know that her name was Angie. She and I were friends for many, many, many years after that, and were totally inseparable. And that was my first experience with true, deep, just unabiding love. I knew I was in love with this girl. There was no question in my mind if I found her attractive or not. I absolutely did. And so, many years down the road, my mother and I, she had a computer and I had a computer. We're sitting back to back at our computers, and I went, "Mom, I think I'm bi." And thankfully, my mother is very accepting, and she just went, "Okay, if that's what you think, then that's fine." But coming out to the rest of my family wasn't as easy. I kept it to myself for a while longer, especially going through the situation I've mentioned before, because that happened right after that with the abusive situation I was in. But soon after the abusive situation ended is when I finally told the entire family that I thought I was bi. That was before there was such a thing as pansexual. And because I knew I didn't fit into the whole straight lifestyle, I thought I must be bi. I wasn't gay and I wasn't straight, so the only other option I thought I had at the time was bi. So I started telling everybody I was bisexual. And at first, the family was more accepting than I thought they would be. You know, I think they were very much in the it's just a phase belief. But when they realized it was not a phase, that's when things got rough. I have a little sister whose family members did not like my lifestyle. And when I explained to my little sister what bisexuality was, what it meant, just the definition of the word, I was informed that I was not seen as an adequate role model anymore and was not to see her again. And I didn't until many, many years later. And just a lot of, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to know about it. We're not going to bring over your female friends anymore if you're showing any kind of mood towards this. My family just wanted it quiet. If I was going to live that way, fine, but be quiet about it. And I wasn't at all. I wasn't quiet about it at all. But my mother, thankfully, was very accepting. And thankfully, the kids at school were very accepting. You would think they would have been the opposite, but since we all went to a small school and we'd all known each other literally since kindergarten, I think it was easier for them to go, "Well, yeah, well, we kind of knew that about you, Anna." I was always the girl that would literally cry that I hadn't been born a boy, and I still have some gender issues with feeling like I was never meant to be a girl in the first place. I don't want a sex change. I don't think I'm happy with myself and who I am, but I do think that I may have been born as the wrong gender. But and that's kind of like the way it is for everybody, especially here in the Deep South. My dearest friend Lee, as I mentioned before, he has been in the closet for 40 years, pretty much, and just came out of the closet a few months ago. And I am so happy for him. Congratulations. I'm so proud of him. I'm not sure that his family even knows yet. He hasn't been quiet about it, but I don't think it's anything he's brought up to them either. I think it's just something that is matter of fact, and if they haven't figured it out, they eventually will. I mean, he has partners, and he and I are working on his drag look. We're going to be doing that video, hopefully soon. So I know this isn't as dramatic coming out video as a lot of people have had to make, but I did want to share that even in a situation where I was very lucky and had a lot of people who were very understanding, and with Lee, who have a lot of people who love him and accept him as he is, it is still this very difficult undertaking that can be terrifying and can get things taken away from you. Like my little sister, she's always been my world, and she and I are having some problems right now, but they're not related to my sexuality, they're just related to life. But we'll get over it eventually. We love each other. But not having her because of my sexuality was a huge blow to my self-confidence, a huge blow to my life. And so I wanted the world to know I've been through it too. I've been through that with you. And I want, again, to be an advocate for as many voices as I can be. So if any of you have a coming out story you'd like me to share, please, as you know, leave a comment down below. You can also email me at pinkycthementalkid@gmail.com, and subscribe with notifications on so you know when my next video comes up. Should be doing another one again sometime tonight soon. So come on, guys, let's get this going. I need an audience, and I love you guys, and I want to share this with as many people as possible. We're going to do another fun video next, I hope, and I will see you in the next one, you guys. Bye!